Hey guys, we just got done watching Frankenstein 2025 on Netflix. This is Guillermo del Toro's new film, this gothic science fiction, the first science fiction book ever, apparently. This is based on the 1818 novel. Damn, that was a long time, by Mary Shelley. And
Which I've never seen that movie. It was 1994 or something like that.
1994's Frankenstein?
Yeah.
I haven't. Maybe I have. But this one came out November 7th. I know it's super late, but I just saw it and I wanted to do a review because I jump right into my opinion. I freaking loved the artistry on display here. You don't get this kind of stuff anymore. It all felt real somehow, like we were there. The sets are immaculate and beautiful. The color designs, the costumes, it was amazing. Now, granted, I have never read the novel, so my opinion is coming from, I saw Universal's Frankenstein a long time ago. This is completely different. This almost feels like it was made for women because they make Frankenstein kind of a hot dude. Apparently, he's the same actor that's going to be in that Margot Robbie sweaty, horny thing coming out. And I guess they needed to do that because of what they do with Mia Goth here. And so those parts I didn't really like. There are some parts of the film that I didn't like. It's a long film, but I didn't mind because I was just fully immersed in this story that just unravels. This Victor Frankenstein, man. This is a guy who I fucking hate. Like, I love to hate him. It's just a piece of shit that was just like coming apart, and it's you could see it all, like this car crash unfolding. And I felt at times sorry for Frankenstein the monster, so I felt some emotion here and there. There are some pacing issues, but I gotta say, watch this film because Guillermo del Toro, you can tell this isn't just some getting paid, some Hollywood schlock. This is mastery on display. This is a story that he's passionate about, it seems like. And he's a cook, put all the ingredients in there, and I haven't really seen anything quite like this. And this is probably, in my opinion, one of Netflix's better decisions. Now, they did spend a pretty penny on it. It's
Looks like it.
120. That's a lot better than Red Notice's 220, something like that. I'll look that up. But the money is on display here. You can tell. The only thing that I felt wasn't working is I wish Christoph Waltz and Mia Goth, I wish they had more. Maybe in the books it made more sense with these two and they were a little bit more plugged in better. But mainly this is a story about Victor Frankenstein and the monster creature itself. And I thought when it was focusing on those two things, like, he does this thing where it's like, here's the story from Victor's, and then here's the story from Frankenstein. And I loved equally both, and it was this ending that I guess I'm unfamiliar with because I just remember the classic ending where it's like the villagers and they're a mob and they come after so all this was new to me. And I just thought it was beautiful. It was crafted excellently. And I loved being in the world, and I thought it was great, which is why I wanted to do a review so late to tell you, if you were like me and you haven't seen it yet, go watch it and see what you think. So I had the boys watch the Frankenstein. Joe had already seen it. Alex just watched it. Tell us what you thought of Guillermo del Toro's version of Frankenstein.
Visually stunning. The cinematography was great. The soundtrack was good. I loved the sets, everything like that. But again, I did lack the story. I thought it was fine for what it was. I think it's above average film. You could see it for the visuals alone. Mm-hmm. But it's just basically, hey, this guy's bad, this guy's good. That's basically what it was as well. And it was kind of weird. He shows up. He's like, oh, he told you his story. Now let me tell you my story. If I was the captain, I'd be like, Man, I ain't got time for this.
I'm stuck in the eyes, Joe.
I ain't got time.
I'm kind of fascinated.
Yeah, we got to get out of the eyes.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, I did like the actors. I think they did a pretty good job. The crazy scientist is like pushing the envelope and this and that, and the violence of humanity. He's trying to be a good guy. The monster's trying to be a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
All fine and dandy. Again, some pacing issues, a little bit too long, but I didn't think it was great.
I thought the visuals were incredible. I mean, there's a scene where he plugs in. It's pretty much a nervous system and like a half of a skeleton.
Yes.
And not when he's in the college, but when he's at home, and it's like a jump scare. It scares the shit out of him. He's naked when he's doing it too. It's like that scene is worth like, even if you're not going to watch it. Fast forward
to it's fucking faces falling off.
Oh, it's crazy. It's such a cool scene, and they did such a cool job with a lot of the visuals. I think the cast for the most part are awesome. Mia Goth is wasted. Her character shouldn't be here. It's like they changed so many weird things from the story.
You have to tell me the stuff they changed.
Well, it's like the whole Mia Goth's character is not a real main character. Like, she's not even really in the thing. She serves an important point later on in the movie, but it's like she's not with the brother or any of this other stuff. And so they make these changes. It's like, okay, well, what are we going to do with the changes? Nothing. We're going to do nothing with these changes because Mia Goth has this like infantile fascination with the monster from the very second. And I get it. Trapped things, cage butterfly, all of those things. But they just say it one time. And I think it was more of a, I would like you to show me rather than tell me. And they're trying to expand her thing. So I felt she was completely and totally wasted. If you're going to spend 2.5 hours and you're going to put her in the forefront, give her some scenes that are like, I think, better than what they got.
I do think she was wasted as well. But at the same time, it's telling a realistic story. I like this idea that she's mysterious.
She sees
she's
the dude who's 6'5", and she just goes...
She kind of is into the same things Victor's in, and Victor becomes infatuated with her. But this is the girlfriend of your fucking younger brother, and it's like, it's kind of creepy, and it's like, it's forbidden. And it doesn't do a Hollywood thing where they get together. It's like, she's like, no, I've chosen, because she can't be with Victor. She can see what kind of person Victor is, doesn't choose him, and this spirals him sort of kind of out of control and contribute. Well, he was going to do it anyway. He's already out of control anyway. But I found it fascinating that it's not necessarily plugged in Hollywood satisfying. And so I understand that it's kind of disappointing because life often kind of ends in a disappointing way.
But the original...
So I thought that was fine.
I just think if you're going to make a major change from the story, you need to make it as good or better. And this is
and I have
so
no
much
context.
worse
And we'll talk about that in spoilers because I want to know what actually happened in the book.
Yeah, and so
is Victor a bad guy in
look, yes, the whole thing that they've been teaching in English classes forever is the monster is not, the real monster is Dr. Frankenstein. But they're more towards like the gray area. In this, it's like one is a dick, literally a dick the entire fucking movie until his dying breath, and then he's like kind of okay. And then the monster is like the paragon of innocence and only really defends himself and does some fucked up things when defending himself.
Okay.
But is not the kind of gray area monster that does some real fucked up things in there. Okay. There were some visuals. There's some things I found real weird. I don't know what Guillermo del Toro's Oedipal complex thing is, where the guy that Victor falls in love with, the actress, the mommy actress, is also his love interest actress, and he drinks milk the entire fucking movie, and only drinks milk a lot. And he only drinks milk, and he's got this whole mommy thing, and he falls in love with his own mommy, and it's
got
like
issues.
And
Alex.
it's like
he
fucking. This is weird. Then there was also in this tower that's filled with leaves, but all the establishing shots of the tower, there's no trees fucking anywhere. So it's like, where'd all these leaves come from, bro?
Outside the castle, Alex.
But that's not. There are no trees.
It's set dressing. Shut up.
Yeah, it's just.
Don't think about that.
It's silly. It's silliness.
No, that's gonna pull you out. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Man.
Well,
how dare you besmirch these things?
Elizabeth's whole thing with the monster is weird. Her like weird infatuation that comes on immediately, and her.
Yeah. That was hard for me to believe. I was like, oh, just because he's the hot guy actor, like, nah.
But he's like all stitched up and weird.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the Frankenstein creature design?
It's all right.
He's very skinny. He's patchwork. I thought
I
it was
expecting
creative.
something from Monster Squad. That was a great Frankenstein.
the normal Frankenstein with the bolts in the fucking neck. That's what you were expecting, and the hilarious eraser head haircut. I like that this one was different, Joe, and that he was kind of hidden
Sexy
behind the
man.
hood the whole time.
Jacked.
And he's very strong. He can push a whole fucking ship. I thought the creature was done really well and really cool. I almost turned into a Disney princess at times. Did you notice that, where all the creatures would come to him and they were comfortable with him? And
the
then
mice.
at one point, the fucking deer is just hanging out with him and gets shot in the fucking head. That scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, yeah, that's humanity. And, he starts running. So all of these individual scenes and vignettes were really fun, I think. It's just kind of putting them together that the pacing kind of felt a little off. And I assumed that was just a problem from the book. And that, there's a passage of time that's kind of different. And it also comes with the two different tales.
Yeah, they didn't really follow the book super closely.
Okay.
And so it's like any pacing issues is because they engineered them
But
here.
I feel like the creative, since we've had so many versions of Frankenstein at this point, I felt that the creative decision of Guillermo del Toro making Victor a horrific person, a person who is just driven by pure ambition and selfishness and ego, was a fascinating take watching this. Not necessarily good. I don't want to, I like it when I watch pieces of shit that are a little, complex and can't admit their own faults until the very end where it's fucking earned. And he's like, he finally realizes what he's done. He's had, his brother tell him to his face what kind of person he is. The love interest that he had with Mia Goth's character tell him who he is. And finally, at the end, when the creature fucking explains it, when Victor finally, when Victor finally comes to a realization at the end, I felt it was poignant, and I was like, that's a cool cap off. And so I liked it. So, it is definitely black and white.
Well, so that's the problem I have.
creature.
You like the complexity, and I love the complexity from the original, and I think that they've dumbed down the complexity.
So it was
even
more complex.
I think it's even more complex. Both characters are more complex.
I
And this
would
time
like
they
that.
made them a little bit more. And look, it's not pure. One's purely good and one's purely evil. I don't want to think it's that. It's just they were in this kind of ball of complexity where one's clearly the monster, and it's not who you think. And then and like this one, they've just kind of separated where one's way more evil,
More simplistic.
Yeah, and so it's like, come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good point, but I think the film is elevated by the artistry.
Yes.
I think the visuals, the music, Joe, that's a good call out. The music was good, and the passion. There's so many projects where you can tell, as you're a critic or you watch 127 movies a year, you can see the difference in passion and talent and artistry and lighting. The lighting in this film was fantastic. The cinematography, the shots were creative. And so when you feel that passion on the screen, even if it's not going exactly the way that you thought it was going, I find myself kind of appreciating it more. And it's like, oh, that's an interesting take. And I will admit, there's some pacing issues here and there, but I still think it works. I was surprised when Victor was like already animating things. Wouldn't everybody be like, oh shit, this guy's real, he's not a crazy person? Because I thought
Witchcraft.
I thought the only time he animated one was with Frankenstein. There's a proto Frankenstein in this film.
Yeah, they're like, oh, this
Wonder
is
what they
like
call
some,
that guy.
There's some parlor tricks, and
Booth
he's like
man.
throws a ball and catches it. It's like, come on, that's
That
fucking
was
cool,
fucking
guys.
cool.
Come on, that's
So
fucking
to
awesome.
me, I thought that was kind of an interesting change, because in order to fund this man's insanity, in order to fund this macabre fucking experimentation where there's all these white wig people that are like, God, and you're dealing with the devil, and this is against religion and all this stuff, you have to be convinced that he can actually do this. If you're a rich man, which was Christopher Waltz's character, that funded all of his experiments, you shall want for nothing. And I loved this. And then the conclusion of that was good and fascinating and brutal. When you see that, and you have some of that darkness and you have some of that gore that will surprise you at times. And again, set creature effects, makeup artists are at the top of their game. And it's rewatchable. I would watch it again. It's a nice little Halloween thing. So I really liked it. Let's go and give this a final verdict. And then we can talk plenty of spoilers, because that's where mainly, the film either works for you or it doesn't.
Good.
I'm going to go with a 7. I really like the visuals, and I think they carry almost the entire film. I think if you've never read the book, I think you're going to like some of the complexity of some of the characters, but I promise you it is way more complex when things aren't so... It's like it's almost dumbed down, and I just didn't feel like it needed to be dumbed down. Like, Guillermo del Toro was like at near peak making this fucking movie, and I just think it was silly. Like, who is he making this movie for? It's like, I think if you're paying attention, you totally would have gotten more complex characters where it's not so this guy good, this guy bad, and then we're going to try to like make some of these changes. Some of the motivations in this movie are all over the fucking place, and they almost take you out when some of the things happen. And again, it's only because it's like, oh, this is how it happened in the original. Oh, you're going to change it? Totally fine. You want to change something? Let's make it good. And then your motivation is just dumb. And it's just because they wanted to dumb some stuff down and kind of speed some things up. So I think it's worth a watch. I think it's better than above average. I think I was thinking like 7 the entire time I was watching, but I'm just more disappointed now because I see how high level so much of this movie was, and just how let down by some of like the storytelling and changes that he made. So 7 for me.
I'm at a 6. Above average is being held up with everything else. But again, the story, I wanted more to the story. It just seemed like we've said over, bad, good. There's a little bit, you mix it up a little bit, but you basically know what the fuck is going on.
I gotta talk to y'all in spoilers about this bad, good thing. Are you saying the monster was okay, I'm sorry. Go, Joe. So 6?
Yeah, Mia's character, again, it's just like, oh, I'm in love with this guy. It's like, oh, well, you didn't really set that up. That's kind of rushed. It's like the pacing is kind of slow, but you're gonna rush. I think that's a pretty big point right there. Yeah. Like, how are you gonna gloss over
and
that?
I wanted him to get his bride, man. He was like, hey, I want you to make me a bride. And I'm like, is that in the book, Alex? The bride is okay, because I was like, oh, maybe that's a sequel. Maybe we'll get a sequel. And I'm like, oh,
it's in there, but they did a wildly different thing.
They kind of rushed the stuff that I was kind of interested in, and then kind of like stretched out some of the boring parts. But
man, you guys are crazy, man. This is Dark Universe. You remember the Dark Universe?
I never saw the Dark Universe.
I want to forget about it.
Motherfucker.
The Mummy?
They tried to launch the Dark Universe with Tom Cruise,
Russell
and it
Crowe,
was the Mummy, Johnny Depp, and
Invisible Man.
You can tell that was the fucking Hollywood schlock.
Yeah,
and this was artistry. And I get what you're saying, Alex. If you're going to change the story, there are so many stories that we review here on the Angry Joe Show where people fuck it up. They do a different interpretation. And if you're going to change it, make it better, right? Rings of Power, The Witcher, fucking Halo, all these things. Yeah. But I felt that they did it different. But I can't tell you they did it better because I haven't seen the book. So I can just say that they did it different, as I hear, and I think it was done well. And that if it is more, good versus evil, I'm fine with it because it makes that final conclusion, that final scene more poignant to me and honestly more sad and fucking tragic because, of what could have been for both Victor and the monster, what could have been. And it makes it a tragedy, and that makes me appreciate it more. Science fiction, horror, tragedy, but I will agree that there was story elements there that could have been stronger. Yep. If, like, the sets are a 10 out of 10, I understand why the boys are like, I want the story a 10 out of 10 as well. And I think that, that was the limiting factor, which is why I was going to give it an 8 out of 10. So we're not all that different.
No.
8 out of 10, a few, negative points here and there, because I wish that Mia Goth would have been a little stronger there. She kind of just floats through the film, and I just wish there was a little bit more to it. And then some of the pacing issues, I think. But other than those two things, everything is at the highest order, and I highly recommend you haven't seen it yet. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. And if you have seen it, tell us what you think in the comments down below. and join us in the spoiler section where Alex is going to educate us on, what are some of the differences that maybe worked better in the books. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you on the next Angry Joe show and in the spoiler section. Hey guys, welcome to the spoiler section. So, Alex, let me ask you, was Frankenstein's monster, the creature itself, he wasn't morally good the whole time? He was a bad guy? He would do bad things?
They do it out of order. At one point in the book, the monster approaches the doctor and said, "I need you to make me a bride." And
yeah, he does that in this movie.
Yeah.
And I was make him a bride! I want it so badly for him to make
and then so he's like, all right, fine. But as he's starting to go through the process, he's like, this is too fucked up. I don't want to do this. And then abandons it. So the monster says, I'll see you on your wedding night. And then he runs up to, and then Victor's marrying Elizabeth in that. And just...
Who's Elizabeth?
The woman.
The Mia Goth?
Yeah, Mia. And then so she marries Victor, and but she
kills her?
Yeah, the monster does.
Oh,
and so this isn't like puppy dog falls in love and wants to defend an indestructible monster, and you don't know if Victor's really trying to kill her or not.
Okay.
And
so the monster has a fucking mean streak to it.
they're not as like.
I just felt like this was bad good.
Bad good.
Disney, it was definitely an element of Disney-ification.
Well, it's like you said, sometimes he feels like a Disney princess. It's like, it's kind of silly. Like, sometimes it makes sense where he's dealing with the blind man, he's learning to read, all of that stuff is there.
That.
And it's it's really great stuff.
Oh, I forgot to mention the wolf CGI, not too good with the wolf CGI. And it's weird because I saw in an after, interview thing or, feature that they used real dogs as references, and I'll just leave the fucking real dogs in there because they have every single shot they have done with real dogs. Yeah. But then they just did CGI over it.
And then they did some other changes that I had issues with. Is like the proto Frankenstein monsters were kind of interesting because in the book he is successful his first go around, and he's so terrified about what he's done, he runs away, and then the monster freaks out because he's alive and takes off, and that's it. It's not.
Yeah, there is too hard of a transition from a non-book reader to. I created this one thing, I created another thing, and now I create the real thing, and all of a sudden I'm fucking mad with it, and I'm gonna.
You're mad that he only knows one word. It's like
but let him learn.
You can get him to go up on the table. You can get him to follow all of your orders in a language. You can get him to do everything. You can get him to infinitely heal from any of the wounds because he sees him cut his hand. He's like, that is a fucking success, and you can teach him language. And so him to go, I gotta burn this place down. Holy shit, this is.
And I hate it.
And it's like I'm afraid of this stuff. It's like it was too hard of a turn for me.
That was a hard of a turn. The jealousy as well. It's like maybe it was that too.
Yeah, but that thing is shoehorned in here.
Exactly. It's like, well, maybe you should have done a little bit more with that. But
was the crew in here, the captain and the crew?
Yeah, that whole thing. Yeah,
so I love that.
The ending is the ending, and so you got to see what the end. And so it's like I think all the things that you loved about it were in the original story, and the only things that I was just like, hey, and I don't hate any of the stuff here. It's hard when we do these things because you talk about, and especially when you like something, you're talking about all the good parts, and I just don't want to go. I agree, ditto.
So
with the good
he has a younger brother that marries, that tries to get with the girl.
No, it's the woman is with Victor the whole time, and she's not a big part of the book. Look, it's been a long time since ninth grade or whatever it was, but she's only with Victor, and she's not a huge part.
Is there a Christopher Waltz character?
No,
or is that just where does he get all his money?
He's just a baron
to do this. Okay, he just does it on his own.
Yeah, and his dad's not dead,
and the scientific community shuns him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's kind of doing everything on his own, but he doesn't make. I don't remember him making proto Frankenstein. The whole thing is one cool, super cool fucking visually. I loved watching it.
Sure, he clearly has done experimentations to where he think it could work.
Yes,
that's what we're talking about. But we didn't know that he created actual proto Frankensteins beforehand. Okay. What did you guys think of the iconic scene where Frankenstein comes alive? I was expecting they'd do a throwback. It's alive! No.
Yeah,
no,
but that was going to be too cheesy.
Cheesy.
I think that's why they cut it out. But I liked that part. I really liked that
think there
part.
was at one point somebody goes, it's alive, or I'm alive. I don't know. I thought there was somewhere somebody says something like that.
I mean,
but it wasn't in the way it was in the classics.
Yeah, and then so as soon as, Victor wakes up, he sees the monster at the foot of his bed, almost like a little kid coming to the foot of the bed. And so he's very
scared.
He's very childlike, he's afraid, he doesn't know what the hell's happening, and so like they once they do that, they never
I thought it was sweet. How can Victor fucking reject that right away?
Yeah. Well, especially since
Because he's mean.
because he's been so successful. And
I
that's the problem I have.
Yeah.
I like it when he's so afraid.
I agree with that wholeheartedly.
He's so afraid, it's a affront to God, and he's like, what the fuck have I done? And he freaks out, and then the monster escapes. I think that works better than this guy being so cartoonishly evil and denying his own success that he wants to light the,
Yeah, a little more complexity. I liked all the spirit of the forest stuff where he was like helping them, and they're like, yeah. And the humans, if they knew him, they would attack him. But this blind old man becomes his friend. Every time he said friend, I felt it, and I was like, oh, this is. I was like, please don't let this end in tragedy, and it ends in tragedy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh fuck,
Goddamn
and he gets shot with all these, and they just keep shooting. I'm like. But then he resurrects himself. He I don't know where did all these Wolverine? Is that in the book where he has these Wolverine healing powers?
Yeah, he can't die.
He can't die.
Well,
That's
he ripped the
fucking
guy's
complex.
fucking jaw off. That was
Oh,
Good.
yeah, that guy.
I was like, God
Good.
damn. I was like, that was I was like, that's what
That
you
guy
get.
got fucked. The other two brothers got away. I guess.
Let's
Right?
They
stop
didn't attack
shooting.
him.
They didn't. They're like, oh, let's.
So I
shoot.
think if you watch this, I don't think he attacks anyone who's not
Who
attacking
doesn't
him.
No.
attack him?
Because
He doesn't.
he's only a good guy.
Yeah, because the guy charged at him. He shot him, and then he's charging.
He
at him.
does. He
Takes
does
his-
fuck the wolves up for killing his only friend.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but they
that's-
attack.
Yeah. Well, some of them attack him, but yeah, he. All right. But yeah, it was poignant. If you realize that you can't die, you want to hang out with somebody, so
companion.
make me a companion. And I really just wanted. I was like, oh shit, are they gonna put makeup on Mia Goth and she's gonna be, the bride like we've seen in sequels? And
She played 3 characters in one. That's too many characters.
what was the second character?
She plays Frankenstein's mom in the beginning. That's the whole Oedipus complex thing he has throughout the whole movie. Mia Goth plays the mother and the love interest, and he drinks milk the entire movie. He's like, I need cans of milk when he's on
Homelander.
yeah.
All right, but
Yeah, for me, I just wanted Frankenstein kind of be like, okay, well, I kind of agree with some of this stuff he's doing. It's like it's morally gray. It's like, well, it's kind of on the balance. But this
I
guy
think-
is just like, just
So
being
you're
mean.
saying
he's
that-
just being mean till the end.
yeah. Well, but some of the changes I like because you're saying that this younger brother idea is not really there, but I think that changing that to his younger brother makes sense because when the guy finally looks and he says, "You're the monster," as he's dying, because this big conflict happens where there's a bunch of guests and Frankenstein comes and he gets shot, and then Mia Goth. She dies, and then his brother slams his head in the back of something, and he's dying, and he goes, "You're the monster." Being told that by your family, you have nobody. She's dead, the one that you were infatuated with. Your younger brother hates you. Your father hated you. You got this thing with your mom, and when he says you're the monster, I was like, oh man, that's fucking crazy. You're the true monster.
For me, I kind of like. Yeah, I like it,
I think
but
it makes
still
more
kind
sense.
of
Because if it's just some random guy, Victor's like, whatever, I don't give a fuck. Because he's just shunned by everybody. He doesn't give a fuck. But when it's his last family member, Joe, that hits him hard.
Well, so in the original, it's his fiance, it's his wife that gets snapped in half.
Yeah, but she doesn't say you're the true monster. That's the line I'm talking about.
Yeah, but I mean, like he know. It's just like one of those things. It's like as the director and the writer, it's like, do you have to say it, or do you
Yes,
do you want to
I-
show
I-
it, or do you
Making
want to
the
tell us?
monster kill the love of his life, that does make the monster a bad guy kind of thing, because he didn't need to cross that line. And here it looked like Guillermo wanted to be a tortured paragon creature that is innocent, and I like that. So anyways, the creature carries Elizabeth to a cave as she's dying, and yeah, and then what happens?
She dies. Victor shows up.
Victor comes with a gun. Oh, and then they do this vignette where he's just a hunter now, and he's just gonna. His whole purpose is killing the monster, and they have this duel, this cat and mouse thing in the fucking Alaska or whatever Arctic.
drags him out of the tent.
Oh yeah, and then that's how we get to the crew.
He tries to blow him. He's like, "Oh, you want to blow me up with dynamite? You think that's gonna work?"
Oh, and he's like, "No, is this gonna work? and I was like, that's gonna work. He's gonna shatter into a bunch of pieces, but when he blows up, you see his hand again. I'm like, no, that hand would be everywhere. So if you show the pieces coming back together or something, fine. I'm willing to magic, whatever. Magic, I don't give a shit. It's static electricity that was the fact because they got hit by lightning, right? I don't know. But anyways, he comes back together. He regrows essentially. He's Wolverine, and then we go back to the, he breaks in to the captain's quarters. And
after they shot the ice around him, because that's how they kind of stop him, we get the first story.
And then he comes back out.
But then after he says that, he says the captain, the creature is going to leave, and the captain says, why does the creature leave? Why doesn't he? Oh, because he finally Victor
is dead.
Victor is dying.
Yeah.
And kind of with his dying breath, he realizes that he's been an asshole, and he says, can you forgive me? And the creature forgives him. And that theme of forgiveness was in the film elsewhere, and I thought that worked. And now
it's the story. I mean, the parallel, right? Like, so between the captain and Victor, where at the very first meeting, he's like, "Oh, I'm plugging forward," and Victor's like, "You have the same madness as me." And then after the stories, he's like, "I don't want to fucking be like you," and he immediately turns to shit. And so
the captain is like,
"Fuck that, we're not going forward. We're going back
because he wanted to continue on forward, just a reckless fucking pursuit." And he saw how reckless and all the shit that happened to Victor Frankenstein. He's like, no, we're going home. And all his men are like, yeah.
This place sucks.
Freeze frame.
And then the creature.
Jump up in the air.
Yeah. 80s montage.
With how Disney-fied it could have been. But he pushes the boat out and helps them. Mm-hmm. And then as he's just walking alone, it's fucking sad because he reaches out and he embraces the sunlight.
Warmth.
Victor kind of told them, it's like, look, if you're going to live, you might as well embrace the living.
So he's going to live.
Like he's going to figure out how to live.
But it's still sad to me. And I want, in my head canon, to be like, he did find some of Victor's notes. He seems to be getting smarter and smarter. So in my head canon, he goes back to the castle, finds more notes, gets rich somehow, robs a bunch of banks, makes the experiments himself, recreates the technology,
exact like Mia,
and makes he buried her, so he has her body part somewhere.
Needs to be fresh.
It has to be fresh because he had to mark the ones that weren't bad.
Right. Well, he makes a bride, and then that's it.
Yeah.
But I like the idea that somewhere out there, Frankenstein is there, and he can't die, and you can show up and you can fight him. Why you would want to fight him, I don't know, because he's a Disney princess. He's not going to fight you.
He's friends with the mice and the butterflies.
He only attacks
the deer.
if he's defending himself.
Anything else? Oh, we got to talk about Christopher Waltz. So as the storm is coming, and he's like, this is the moment, and then that's when he decides,
no more money,
at that
fuck you.
moment, to be like, I have syphilis.
Yeah.
And my flesh is falling apart. Put my brain into this creature. Let me be this creature. And Victor's like, fuck no. The way he looks at him, he's like, you're tainted. And it makes sense.
Your
that
organs
Victor's not
it's completely in your body. Like, it's systemic.
Your
We
organs
can't,
are fucking gone.
can't do anything about it.
And that's crazy. And then they fight, and then he falls. And when his body slams into there and he picks up and the back of his head just falls out, I was like, oh, man. He ain't going to be in Rush Hour 3.
It was the monster. Then the person that's it was the monster. It was the monster.
When Mia Goth's character shows up, Elizabeth, he's like, doesn't tell her, and then later on blames it on the monster to William.
He shot her.
The guy was within like a week of fucking dying. It's like, he killed himself because he was dying of syphilis. There's the body. You can
we
see.
thought he was just documenting the process. I thought that he was documenting the process, and then he can, use all the notes to recreate it and create either an army because he's an arms dealer, or he wants to cheat death eventually and do it for him, but not in that moment where he's like, put me in the body now or this is all done. And then they fight, and then he falls.
Slips down the little...
Why is that hole there? Why would you build a castle with a
look
hole
cool.
right there? It goes all the way.
Because it looks cool.
It does look cool. It does look
That's
cool.
it.
You're not. You gave me shit for thinking about the design for some of this.
Except for the hole.
Yeah.
Why is there a hole?
Why is there a
like,
hole?
It's slippery. You're going to fall right in.
Tell me what purpose that serve. It's a laundry chute.
looks
That's the biggest
10
laundry
out of
chute.
10 visuals.
10 out of 10
That's like a
visuals.
fucking Tim Burton thing going on there.
Okay, anything else that we forgot?
Yeah, Highlander's completely made up. Well, I mean, all characters. are made up,
Highlander.
But like the guy, Christoph Waltz, he was not.
Oh,
in the
okay.
book. I had to,
Heinrich Harlander.
Yeah.
Who else? Was there any cameos by anybody?
I love what is his name? Dance, the guy who played his father. He's so good in everything.
I like the judge.
Yeah, so he's.
I like the judge.
Oh, that guy.
With the deep
Innocent?
voice.
The
Yeah.
judge. Right.
Yeah, he's always great.
Yeah, he's good in there. And then the guy who played
and,
Walder Frey was
Charles
the blonde guy.
Dance from Game of Thrones was his asshole father. Yeah. And I did believe that he was smart. Like, he wanted to get back at his father, and he learned everything that his father knew and better, you know. So I like that explanation. So is that in the book, like Victor Frankenstein's backstory, where they fucking basically tell him from his birth? Well, that's a good addition.
Yeah, his dad.
That adds to the lore.
His dad dies in the book, but not like when he's a kid or anything.
Yeah. So, yeah. Fucking great. Guillermo del Toro wanted to do this. He said back in 2007, he was like, I would kill to make this film. And now here we are, 20 years later, a little less than 20 years later, and he finally got to do it. Alexandre Desplat was the guy that did the musical score. He worked on Shape of Water with him. And Pinocchio. So where do you think this ranks in? Do you like this film better than Shape of Water? Do you like it better than Pinocchio? Do you like it better than Pan?
I didn't see
like
Pinocchio.
Pan. I haven't seen the other ones.
I think Pan
I like
is
Pan.
better.
Yes.
I think I like this better than Shape of Water.
This
I
one
think
is
Pan is better, but it's in Spanish, and if you don't like reading subtitles, you're not gonna like Pan. But I like Pan, and me and Joe can understand it. But
this is visually, I mean, so much better than Shape of Water. But I think Shape of Water's got a better story. But that just may be because I'm like, hey man, why are you changing all this shit and doing it worse? Right. I had a lot of that feelings, and that completely have biased me to like a lower score. But I gave it a 7. I didn't give it a terrible score.
Yeah. That's it.
This is still worse than Young Frankenstein.
I thought the people that needed to bring the best performances for this to work brought the best. For Oscar Isaacs, nails it, in his frantic version of fucking this asshole version of Victor that's obsessed.
Monster,
I think he nails it.
Great.
I think the monster nails that pure innocence, and then eventually, the brutality of the monster.
And everything. He's like, oh.
Yeah. And he's got the movements. I can tell. Man, this guy studied. This guy definitely did the work. Because you know how, RoboCop, Peter was doing, like, you could tell that this guy did that kind of same thing, and he wanted to portray the monster as accurately as possible. Well done, sir.
Yeah. Mia Goth, I didn't think she was great. Not that I like Mia Goth a lot. She just had nothing to do in this movie.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
other than get
Just
that was a disappointment.
A plot to go forward. That's it.
Yeah.
Barely.
Well, we didn't need it.
I think we covered everything. Was there any just really cool props? Good stuff. So tell us what you think down below. Do you think where would you rank this in Guillermo del Toro's story? Where would you rank it in Frankenstein's stories? Do you like the book better, or do you like some of the changes here better? Which parts made you upset, or did you think was good? Leave it all in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.